What's up, guys? Welcome back to D-Class Moto Pod. We've got Dayton Briggs on joining us as a guest. So what's up, dude?
Nothing much. Just working on bikes, pretty much trying to get them ready for Freestone, Texas National coming up here soon. This week, actually. So should be crazy.
Dang. So that's a are you trying to qualify for Loretta's there? Is that what the deal is?
No, the Loretta's qualifiers are more local. This is like a big, like really, really big, probably like the third biggest race of the year for like amateur racing.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, it's obviously an AMA event. All the big ones are AMA. And it's Freestone MX, JS63, or not JS, JS7. It's like the James Stewart race. It's crazy. It's really big.
That's sweet.
It's huge. I pretty much just been trying to get my bikes ready for that. I got another new one, so I got 2 brand new ones, so that's dope.
Dang.
Right on, dude.
So is that your first time racing that event?
So I actually went there when COVID hit, and I only got to do 6 laps, and they actually ended up closing it. So I had to drive all the way home.
What?
No way.
Like mid-session, they're like, shut it down.
Yep. So they went through 7 practices because I was 7th practice, and then they called everybody to a riders meeting and said they're shutting it down. And it wasn't anything legal. It was their decision to do it.
Wow.
So that's ridiculous.
A lot of wasted money from a lot of people.
Yeah, that sucks.
Honestly.
Like, got to at least finish the event. I mean, at the bare minimum.
Yeah. I don't know why they did that, but so I was kind of pissed. I was on 125s then, but this year should be good. I'm excited. We're driving out Sunday. We're going Sunday, right? Whenever you're ready to leave. Yeah, probably Sunday. I'm pretty sure we're going to leave Sunday.
So Monday, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Fun fact, actually, I thought we were leaving next weekend, so I didn't have anything ready. So I'm trying to get things ready like today and yesterday.
Yo,
my sister told me the date, and I was like, oh, it's actually this weekend.
So how far of a drive is that?
It's about 20 hours, 21 hours, I want to say.
You're going to do it straight?
So me and him are going to be mobbing my Sprinter out there. And then his bike, he's racing. His Yamaha just exploded yesterday.
That's fantastic.
But, luckily I had this gas that I'm going to let him race out there. So.
Sick. That's what's up. That's what a real friend does, Connor. You know, whenever their bike breaks, you just let them ride, yours.
That hasn't happened to us yet.
Oh, my bike's broken right now. Let me ride yours.
Well, I was trying to ride this weekend, and this guy's not wanting to ride with me. So
I gotta work, big dog. Gotta make them big dollar signs.
I got a question for you guys. What made you guys want to start a podcast?
Oh, great question.
So we had Levi Kitchen on a few weeks ago, and he asked us the exact same question, but I'll answer it for you. Basically, so we've only been riding for like a year-ish. I got my bike. So I rode like in middle school, but then I took like a huge break for a while. Got back into it like a little over a year ago. And like it's probably way different where you're at, but like out here, there's like not that many people into moto. So it's
really?
Yeah,
I
got a bike. I convinced one other guy to buy a bike. But he's like married and has like a dog, and he's like super always busy with stuff, which is like, no hate on him, but it's just, doesn't have as much free time as me.
Right.
And then I met Hayden. This was like probably like March.
Yeah.
Like a year ago. I met Hayden like a trivia night. I was like, yo, I just bought this dirt bike. And he's like, I'm buying a dirt bike. And like that night he texted me. He was like, I found this bike on Facebook Marketplace. We want to pick it up tomorrow.
Oh, and dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, so then we both got bikes, but outside of like me and him, like we met some cool people at the tracks around here, but especially lately, but like kind of when we were getting into it, like we didn't really know anyone that was into riding dirt bikes or anything. And like
just the two of us that
we'd be the ones,
riding.
We'd be watching the races on Saturday, and like everyone else is doing other stuff.
Did you grow up watching like racing on TV or anything? Or?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you like know about the sport though.
Yeah. For
just
me,
it's like the actual riding scene.
Yeah. So I grew up riding. Let's see, I got a bike probably when I was in like 5th grade. And so I rode from like 5th grade to like 8th grade, and then my buddy tore his spleen at this track, had to get life flighted out. My mom was like, "All right, we're selling the bikes," and like I had no say in that.
Yeah.
So then anyway, fast forward to like 15 years later, now I'm older and have a job, and I was like, you know what, I can afford to buy a bike. Like,
why not?
Awesome.
And I had been like, I'd always kept up with like the races. Like I had gone, so I'm from like just north of Atlanta, so I still would go to like the race every year in Atlanta. And still kind of keeping up with it. And then finally I was like, I'm just gonna pull the trigger and buy a bike. I didn't know anyone that had a bike, and I was like, I bought this like old clapped out 01 CR 125
Oh, okay.
And I was like, worst case scenario, I'll buy this bike, have something fun to tinker with, and then I'll sell it if I don't have anywhere to ride and don't know anyone to ride with. And then it ended up working out pretty well. So
yeah, I have a 2001 CR 252 stroke that I'm going to build and like race like the 2-stroke national and stuff.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. How old are you guys? By the way, I was just curious.
So I'm 27
and I just turned 25.
How old are you?
Okay. You guys are older than I thought. I'm 18.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
So are you graduated from high school?
Yeah, actually I just turned in my last credits today.
Dang.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
So
Congrats.
I guess technically I graduated today.
Dang. Well, congrats.
That's pretty cool. I don't really care about school. I focus more on other stuff, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So anyway, to wrap up, you asked us why we started the podcast. Basically, we like didn't really have many people to talk to about it, and we were like, so I do basically podcast production and like videography, media stuff for a living.
Okay, awesome.
In the fishing industry, so like I work for a company. We have like some fishing TV shows on like Discovery Channel and stuff.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, it's a fun job, but like I already knew how to like do all the podcast stuff and like the video stuff, and knew that I could make something like at least look legit. Like who knows if we can know what we're talking about, but at least it'll look pretty legit.
Yeah, for sure. That's sick.
And so I was like, yo, like if we don't have anyone to talk to about dirt bikes, and we'll just talk to each other and put it out there. And so that's kind of how this all started. And then like we've been doing like honestly just like goofing off on TikTok for fun, and it's like starting to do all right. And we just started like reaching out to like people, and
people want to be on.
We got Levi on. We had so do you know Huckett Films?
Yeah.
So they live only like 4 hours from us. So they came up to Nashville a couple weeks ago. We did an in-person podcast, and then we actually went back down to Georgia. What was that, last weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
With them. So it's been kind of cool to just like, now we're kind of like meeting a bunch of people through basically TikTok and Instagram and things like that.
Yeah,
so
dude, that's sick. Cause like I saw you guys, like I think I saw one of your comments on my post, and like I was looking through your thing. I was like, oh, like this is awesome. Like I think more people need to do this in the sport. So that's why I started looking at your stuff. I was like, oh, I'm definitely following these guys. Like I love their attitude too. Like you guys seem just like great people, honestly.
Yeah, it's been cool to see. Like, I mean, like I think we're at like 2,500 followers right now, which is like nothing compared to a lot of people. But like even back when, so like the video that kind of like got us like to start getting a following was Hayden like crashing into this kid at our local track, and like just got like immediately blown up with all these hate comments, which is like exactly what you want. That's what like blows the post up.
It's content.
But anyway, so like the first thing that, so like we were kind of like just doing podcasts on, and we weren't even really planning on having guests on. And then 109 Nate commented, and he was like, yo, have me on your podcast right now. And we were like, all right, we can do it on Zoom whenever you want. He's like, no, I want to fly out to you guys. And like, unfortunately we haven't been able to make it work yet, but like after he commented that, like all these like other like bigger creators started reaching out like, yo, I want to be on the podcast. And we were like, all right, awesome. So
yeah, it's pretty
that's
crazy.
Awesome. Heck yeah. I have like a podcast in the works right now that I'm going to start doing, hopefully. Really? When I get back from Texas, I'm going to like go, do you know who Dylan Kelly is?
Yeah. So I talked to him about, he's going to hopefully be on eventually.
Okay. Yeah. So that's like one of my best friends. Like I've known him forever. We hang out like in person a lot. So I'm kind of talking to him, and he'll probably end up being like a co-host, I guess, or whatever. And then we'll probably run that together.
Dude, that's sick.
Down here, there's like so many moto people, and like, so I can get more in person stuff, I think. And that's something I've always wanted to do, because I love talking. And like, I guess I love to like be influential to people. And I think that like what you guys do is great too. Just like talking to people, having conversation. A lot of people want to know about the sport, because a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to be able to do it because of how expensive it is. And like you guys are saying, you know, you get into it when you're older because you can actually do it because your parents won't support you in the beginning, because it is so dangerous. So you have to find like, I don't know, it's very hard to do, especially racing at a young age. Like if you haven't done it, a lot of people don't understand how hard it really is.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting sport. And like, I mean, regardless of like the cost of it, like to be like one of those top athletes, you still have to like work your tail off to get.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like I'm in the gym. Usually I'm in the gym 4 days a week. I train on the bike 3 to 4 days a week. And then I do all my mechanic work. I do like my own YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I do everything myself. So like I am busy a lot.
So tell us a little bit about like what's your like let's say like what's like the perfect like plan? Like it sounds like you're kind of on this like you're doing moto like full time, right?
Yeah. I mean, moto is like everything. Like when I tell you I put everything into it, I mean like every dime I get, literally anything. And then like obviously my parents supported me like my whole life racing. That's because I wouldn't be where I was if they didn't. And then my dad was into racing when he was younger and stuff. He was fast, but he just like was never fortunate enough to be able to have the money. But I don't have money, honestly. Like we're very broke, but now it's I'm very fortunate to have the sponsors that I do that helped me get where I am today, and I'm stoked on it. Yeah. And then well, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was your question again?
I mean, I guess basically just like, so like, what's like your like
the end?
Like,
okay,
what's your goal? So like right now you're riding like B class, right?
Yeah. So right now I'm racing B class. I'm racing limited and mod just to be able to try to get like championships or something. And so the goal for this year is to stay consistent, be top fives. And then hopefully in the limited mod class, I want to be like top 5 would be my goal. Cause I'm sure you guys know, you know how fast all these kids are.
Yeah.
And then, cause I have like Deegan and all of them in my class. And then limited, I hoping I could either win or come out with like a top 3 overall would be awesome. So the goal is to stay with that consistent all year. And then next year sign with a team, which there is something that might happen if I do good this year. So I have a lot riding on this year racing wise, but honestly, like the racing is the goal, obviously, to get like GoPro, do really good in Supercross and stuff would be my end goal. I've always wanted it and I think I could get there. I really do. But also like being, like I said, influential for the sport, because there's not a lot of people showing the journey or showing the struggle in it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my goal, is to like put that out there and show people what it's like to be an amateur racer as like a privateer. Like I go work on weekends. Like I pay for a lot of stuff by myself. It's, I guess, there's no one really doing amateur videos, but someone like Deegan is, but their budget's insane. So maybe people seeing it from like a lower perspective almost, I guess, would be sick.
It's a little bit more down to earth. I think that's really where we got our footing. We kind of speak towards the people who, you know, don't have the nicest bikes or like don't have
super slow.
Yeah. Like we're not the fastest guys out on the track by any means, but by golly, we're having the most fun doing it. And we're meeting awesome people along the way. And honestly, we cater to a lot of people who, like the weekend warriors, like people that want to go out and ride on the track on the weekends, but you know, don't have either the time or the money to go like race competitively for like a salary or any type of earnings. But yeah, there's so many people out there that just use this as like a voice or whatever. Cause I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of guys that just don't get the content from like the little guys, where we kind of like we incorporated like the D class as like we're D class riders, so we incorporate all the people who you know, we're not the fastest, but you know, we can still have fun out there on a dirt bike. And I love sharing that and showing that to people when we get out there. But
I just love hearing that, because like, so I work as like a trainer and like I teach people how to ride a lot. So they've never even seen a dirt bike and I got to teach them how to ride, use a clutch. And like, it's so awesome to see how happy people get. Like, and like, I love sharing my skills. Like, honestly, I would much rather be able to do social media as a living because racing, you don't make money in it. I mean, everybody knows that unless you're on a factory team. Obviously I would love to be on a factory team, but in my head, I'm like, social media could be a great outlet for me. And like, it's been going pretty good. Like for like the last 2 months, I've been like really grinding it, and it's like, it's working out, and I'm beyond grateful. Like I was going live a lot. I got banned from going live.
Yeah. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Like what happened? Did they tell you why, or did they just say?
I don't know, but I should be able to go live the 6th. So everybody wants videos from Texas and stuff. It's just really hard to do. And like, I'm doing all my bike work and stuff, so it's hard to get clips.
Yeah.
But luckily Daniel's going with me right here. So hopefully he'll be able to like grab my camera or GoPro and go on the side of the track when I'm racing and get some type of videos, because you're not allowed to run GoPros anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because apparently when it's on your helmet, a lot of people broke their necks because of it. It's stupid. I think it's because they don't pay them.
Yeah.
Because
probably.
in Supercross, the teams that are like get paid by them still wear them. So it's really stupid.
Yeah, I heard about that, because like basically they were saying that like the helmets aren't tested for like with a GoPro on top, right? And like
exactly,
you could like twist your head, but also like like in the past when you would see someone wreck with a GoPro on their helmet, that thing would snap off so quickly.
It's the weakest link by far.
I ripped mine off like 5 times. Like they rip off a lot. I still wear it in practice because a lot of people want to see like my practice days and stuff. but it's just so hard when I go train. Like it's so hard to do it by yourself because
I guess
so usually.
And they're not cool with you putting one like down here either, like on the.
Yeah, you can, but when it's like on here, it's really annoying because like if you're racing and you're scrubbing or like something happens,
I guess
like
that's true.
There's always a chance of it getting caught somewhere because in races, like weird stuff happens. Like you have no idea what's going to happen when you're racing. That's what's hard about this sport.
Dude, they should make something where Hayden has that GoPro that's like. It's a really small. That really small one. It's like a cube, basically.
Yeah.
It was like the Hero 5. It's like a pretty old GoPro.
Yeah.
But that thing is so small that you could almost like
you could stick it somewhere.
You could put it like inside of the helmet almost.
You could, if you could like incorporate like into your chin, either into your chin or like even in the top. You could literally recess that thing.
Like
in
almost
there.
like where I don't know what you call that, like the face shield, I guess. Yeah, like where that comes around, like because that's where like I'm sure you know Jeff Walker, like that he's kind of like made like that place of mounting it, like obviously it's a salt like clip. Yeah, and like it looks great, and that seems
everybody keeps telling me to try that. I don't know. I just feel like it'd be annoying for me.
Yeah, because if you hit it, like you said, when you like if you're scrubbing or anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm like super picky when I ride GoPro. I think it would bug me, but I think I might need to try it out one day. I've gotten about 1 million comments of kids telling me to get one. So
I think if you could find a way to like, especially with that really small one, like find a way to like almost put it like halfway in the helmet to where it's only going to be sticking out like that far. Or something.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I've never seen anyone do it before, but it seems like,
no, that's not a bad idea. Honestly. Like that's a pretty good idea.
Jeffrey Walker had a video of like, it's like this new small camera. He put it right next to his radiator and he did a couple laps and you could see his suspension. That was a pretty cool shot, but the camera quality is just not quite there yet. I think GoPro is like the best you can get for action camera quality. And this other company, they weren't quite there yet with quality, and also sound isn't as good. So I mean, that thing is literally the size of your thumb. Yeah. So
that is insane.
You can put the thing anywhere.
Yeah, GoPros are crazy, man. The quality that they've like achieved and like the stableness of it, most impressive part.
Right?
Yeah, the stabilization. So I remember, like the first GoPro I ever got, I think it was the original Hero, and like that was like. I remember I had it when I had my pit bike, and I mean, like for the time it was like super cool, but man, if you go back and look at like the footage now compared to like those new GoPros with like the like the stabilization, and now you can the hyper smooth, and then it can also like level with the horizon to where like if you're like moving it like it keeps the horizons like level.
It's pretty sweet.
Actually.
Yeah, it's super sick.
I need to get a GoPro 10.
Yeah, the new 10s are
pretty gnarly.
They're pretty unreal. I think anything from like 7 and up is pretty unreal.
Oh, I have a 7 and an 8, but I posted it. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I had the chest mount going. A lot of people hate the chest mount, but it's just what I was using at the time. And I came over to jump and like compressed, and I shattered the whole GoPro on
no way.
Like the little 8mm bolt for the front brake.
Really? So, yeah, I was gonna ask if you're allowed to run the chest mount, but I mean, I guess even if you are, you probably don't even want that then.
Yeah, I've smacked that thing a couple times on my chest mount.
Yeah, exactly. And especially like when I'm racing or like when anyone's racing, like you don't want the distraction. It's already stressful enough, you know. So it's just easier without it.
Well, I've seen like Justin Barsha now. He's running that one like in his number plate.
Yeah, but
dude, it just does not look good.
Yeah,
I hate that view. Honestly, I can't stand watching it when they play that.
Yeah, same. Like, dude, I saw. So they posted like it was like the GoPro track view brought to you from Justin Barsha, and dude, all the comments were like, "This is the worst angle I've ever seen. What is wrong with this?" Way. It was funny.
That's so funny.
I mean, I guess that's like the best that they can do with
what they got.
They just got to throw it on top of the head, man. That was the best.
Yeah. I mean, it's you can see so much with it, but
that's what I do for practice. Like today, I ran on top of my head just for my YouTube. It's easier that way. And then I have a nice camera. I have like a nice Sony I bought. It's like brand new.
What Sony do you have?
A6400, I think.
Okay.
Or 6000 or something.
Oh, that's a good camera.
I'm a camera nerd, so yeah, that's a really good camera. Yeah, if I have so what we're filming on right here is a Sony too.
Okay, yeah, nice.
But yeah, that's the autofocus on that camera is like it like does all the work for you basically.
Makes you look like a pro.
Yeah. So I was using that and stuff. And I would have like Dylan Kelly, for instance, when his brother was training, I would have him film me and stuff for my YouTube. But like, he's obviously not there all the time. And now he's not a mechanic anymore. So he's never there.
Yeah.
I realized like, I don't have time to do it on my computer. Like it takes a long time. So what I do now is I fully vlog everything on a GoPro with like a little stick. And then I just keep it in my pocket everywhere I go. And I film stuff with that. And I just put it on my phone. I edit it super fast, kind of like half-assed, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then I just throw it on YouTube, and it's so much easier on me that way because I can edit a video in like 30 minutes.
Dude, that's what people want though. It's almost like with like that vlog style of stuff. It's like it's like it's not this way, but it's almost like the lower the quality, the better. Especially on I'm sure you've noticed that on TikTok. Like I'll put together like some like nice edited video. I'll spend like 30 minutes editing it, shot on my nice camera, and it'll get like 5 likes. And then like I'll post like a video of like me filming my computer screen talking about Supercross or something. And it'll get like 10 times as many likes. I'm like,
what is going on here? Dude. The algorithms.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know. I'm sure like you've seen some of my videos. Like some of my videos are pretty half-assed. Like I am bare minimum on TikTok. And like, I think people kind of like it. Like they like to see like the reality of it. Like, I mean, I guess like it sounds like corny, but like, I guess I speak the truth or whatever, tell the truth always. But I don't know. It's just like TikTok's weird, man. It's hard to
you get more of a real perspective. Like it feels like you're actually there or you can relate to it. When somebody does like a production style video, it just seems, movie theater-esque and like, it doesn't feel like you can relate to it at all. It's like, oh, this is a production rather than like, oh, I'm just going to record this quick.
Certain people see it and they're video. Like, oh, that's sick. But then most people are like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess that's cool. Like, I don't really know.
I think people want to see the real moto grind. Like, I think that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
like, I'm starting to build like a little cult following. Like like a group of kids that like love me and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like my beanies are like a big deal on my TikTok. I don't know why, but like if I don't wear it, I get so much hate. So I got to be careful. I can't upload any TikToks without the beanie on.
Yeah, man.
And then I'm actually going to come out with like a signature beanie and stuff. So that would be kind of cool. Like, and sell it to people that want to buy it.
Yeah, that'll be sick.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break real quick.
Yeah, this is a good stopping point. And then we'll kind of deep dive into some either history and then like some future stuff that we got coming up for you.
Yeah, I've got a number of questions, but let's take a quick break just so I can reset the camera.
Yep, for sure, man.
Oh, dude, I could eat a whole box of Cheez-Its without any resentment. Like I would eat that so willingly. I used to, back when I was in high school, I would take a family size box of Cheez-Its and I would go through it in like 2 days. It was so unhealthy, but yeah, like it dehydrates the crap out of you, dude.
What, Cheez-Its?
Yeah, Cheez-Its are like, yeah, I could go through so many of them, but
they're like addicting. Once you eat like 5, it's like Pockies.
And then you like,
game over.
This is going to sound weird to anybody who isn't a fan of Cheez-Its, but when you like chew on them and then you get like the pockets of them in the back of your mouth and you got
braces.
Yeah, dude. Yep. I know exactly what that was like.
So I would like, you're eating them for the next like 4 hours.
Like I'll be like, I don't know, when you clear your mouth with your tongue or whatever, you'll have like these like cheekfuls worth of Cheez-Its and you just like scoop them up.
That's so good.
People who don't like Cheez-Its are like, dude, this is the nastiest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, I like Cheez-Its, but that sounds kind of disgusting.
I don't know, man. I'm just a different breed. All right.
Hey, you ain't a real Cheez-It lover then.
Yeah, let's go.
I guess not.
You ain't a real Cheez-It
I guess
lover.
not. So I've got a question for you. So I think the first time I came across you on TikTok was you were like talking about like your fork seals leaking or something.
That
was like the first video I saw. I was like, yo, what's this kid about? So one question I've got is what's like the big differences between standard suspension and A-kit suspension? Like obviously people know, like people have seen the videos of like
this question for so long.
Well, so like I've seen the videos of people like casing jumps and it like does like they just like basically like absorb it and it does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like what are the other advantages? And then like I don't know if you know this or not, but like what components go into making it that expensive and B like able to do the things that it does?
Yep. So this one, I mean, this created a big old controversy on my page. The whole suspension thing was a big deal. That video's got like 60,000 views of me saying like, there's so much hate on that video.
That's what you want though, dude. The haters drive everything.
I love hate. Like I personally think it's awesome. I really don't care what anyone says. All right, so hey, grab one of the A-kit forks and then grab a stock fork right there.
Oh, dude, we're gonna see real life A-kit forks.
Oh my gosh,
dude, I have 2 sets over here.
To like C and D class riders, A-kit forks are like liquid gold.
So just for instance, so this is like a standard. This is a standard air fork that comes on the KTM.
Okay.
So what's good about these is they are super light. That's probably the only advantage they have over A-kit. But so the thing with standard, at least I'm just talking for KTM here because it's air. Air suspension's really hard to set up, and it's hard to get like it's super finicky, I guess. So you could either set it up really good to turn, you could set it up really good to handle bumps, or really good coming out of turns for the chatter. And there's not a lot of in between. And that's probably the hardest part with stock suspension is finding a good in between. So like for instance, when I went to Loretta's this year, I was on air forks. And I made my bike turn really good, but through the bumps, it would kick my ass a little bit more.
Okay.
And then like with an A-kit fork, so this is like cone valve, I guess. You see how fat it is?
Yeah.
So
thick.
it's like, this is down here, it's 52 mil, and then it goes to like 48. I
so
think
it fits in your triples.
So, but the only thing is these are heavy. A lot of people don't like how like this fork is super heavy. It's probably like, I don't even know how heavy it is, but this thing weighs a lot.
Yeah.
And so with it just being so fat and it's like a cone valve, so it's spring. I don't really know like too many details on it. I'm not the smartest, but with this, it like soaks up bumps. Like I guess the best way to explain it is riding on a pillow. So like for instance, Glen Helen, I'm sure you guys know what Glen Helen is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you jump down the hill coming in, cause I train there all the time. That's where I went today. When you jump down the hill with this suspension, you could jump down into a 2-foot bump and the bike will just soak it up. Wow. With air, you'll feel it in your palms and it comes up into your shoulders and you got to take more of the beating from the bike.
Okay.
With this stuff, I mean, you really don't have to. It's crazy. And then the shock, grab the shock, please. The A-kit shock. The A-kit shock is insane.
So I'm going to spitball here. Like, so I'm a technician. I work on cars for a living. I work on Mercedes-Benz and stuff like that. And when I think of like, when you say it's heavier, my mind goes to the more weight that shock has, the more weight it can kind of disperse. So it absorbs a lot out of an inertia. So like that initial
That's a great point.
It will take more effort to move that shock when it hits an abrupt like impact. So that weight is going to transfer slower through that shock. Whereas like an air fork or like your traditional lightweight fork from like an OEM manufacturer, that's going to be lightweight and it doesn't have the ability to absorb those big bumps like that because it doesn't have the weight. You need mass in order to like have that. You need to have the mass in order for the travel to be, I guess, like smoother. That's why if you talk to people who like I ride my 125 and that sometimes will beat the crap out of me because I feel everything on that bike, but then I hop on Connor's bike and I'm like, oh, it's big and heavy and smooth. Like that's kind of that's kind of the same premise. I'm just guessing here. I don't know anything about A-kit, but I do know about like the weight transfer.
There's a lot more to it than just the weight. Like I don't know. Like
of course, the valving inside, like the stack, the valve stack.
Yeah, but what? I mean, there's only so much in there. What makes my forks on my bike, you could probably buy for what, like a couple $100?
Sure.
And then what's like, if I'm sure, obviously there's a lot higher quality parts, but what is that difference that makes it an extra, like $9,500 difference?
Yeah, though. I mean, that one fork I'm holding is like $6,000. So, and then this is the rear shock. Just this not set up. I think it was like $2,400. So
dang.
The thing about the shock is like, if you're not a fast rider, you won't notice the difference with it because it's not that it's that much better. It's that you could set it up more to your liking. So like the adjustability on it is very, very good.
Interesting.
But stock KTM shocks are great because I like either one, to be honest with you, but that one looks cooler.
That's so cool to get that kind of insight. Cause honestly, we've never talked to anybody about suspension from like a professional rider standpoint. So to us, that is like super awesome information. I know for me, I love like tech stuff. I don't know. I think through all that and I'm like, yo, that sounds really cool. Like,
so like, are you the kind of rider that like you can feel these like extremely minor differences? Like I think it's crazy when like I'll watch like a video on like some pro rider's bike and they're like, oh yeah, we switched up the engine mounts and it made the bike ride so much better. And I'm like
they have,
what?
They have different frames.
This is a funny topic.
And so, like, I'm over here and like,
I'm doing two clicks on my forks. I'm like,
I don't even know if my suspension's set up right. I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm just holding on.
That's funny, dude. That's how I used to be. And so there's two types of riders. There's someone who can feel the bike really well, and there's someone who has no idea what they're doing. They could both be fast, but
I'm the second
someone
one.
who doesn't know how to feel the bike, they're gonna have to have some more people watching them to see what the bike's doing, to see if the shock's kicking. So like, I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but like, I am insane at setting up suspension. Like, I set up the kids' bikes that we train with, actually. Like, I ride all their bikes and set up for them. You could, like, so for instance, the forks, like the lines on top, you can move them up and stuff. I run mine on the third line, which is pretty high up, but if you move that, or like on air suspension, if you put 2 pounds in it, I couldn't even probably ride the bike. I'll throw a tantrum.
Wow.
Really?
Like,
that's
so on the KTMs,
so cool.
I take the top motor mount bolt out to make the whole bike flex more through like long standing turns and stuff.
Dude,
and like,
that just blows my mind.
You could like blindfold me and tell me to go on the bike, and I could tell you if the top motor mount bolts in or not. Like, it's pretty good. Like,
dude,
I
no way.
Really
Crazy.
well.
That is so cool. I love that. Is the kind of stuff that just like gets me hyped up, because you know your machine so well, and that's what I like. That's what I want to aspire to be like. I don't care really how fast I am. I just want to know that like the things that I'm doing on my bike are making a difference. That's super cool. That's so cool.
There's
man.
like for instance, like on the A-kit suspension, like those forks, right when they hit about 20 hours, the oil starts going bad, and they feel horrible to me.
Really?
But like, other kids can go like 40 hours on it, but to me, it's like it feels horrible. Like, right when it hits 20 hours.
Oil, my guy, that's so
crazy,
cool. Dude.
Yeah,
so when did you start noticing yourself be able to pick out these subtle differences in like the way you ride?
So before we get to that, so have you been riding since you were on like 50s?
So I started riding when I was a baby, but only desert, never raced or anything. And I started racing when I was 10 years old. So 8 years.
Okay.
That's sick.
And so when in those 8 years did you decide, like, I want to try and turn this into a living?
So there was two things I went through. There was I want to, and then I did. So that's like the big thing. Everybody in this sport, like, I don't want to sound mean to anybody local, but like, a lot of these kids that think they're going to make it, they don't understand the amount of work you have to put in. Like, it is the amount of injuries that I go through. Like, right now I have AC separation. I have my meniscus is torn in one of my knees and the other one's like blown out. It's like, I could barely walk, but I could ride fine. And I stretch every night for like 2 hours before I go to bed. I have a massage gun I use for like an hour. It's insane. But I think once I got on, I was from 85s. I've always wanted it to be a career, and like, I wanted to work really hard at it. But I think when I got on 125s, things started getting more serious, and I started getting really fast, but I still wasn't training in the gym like I should have been. And this is actually what ruined me and my dad's relationship for a little bit in racing. And me and him would fight every day. And when I look back on it, it was obviously my fault because I wasn't listening to him. He just wanted the best for me always. And I would just cry to him and tell him, like, I thought I was putting in the work, but I wasn't. And then I got on a 250. I got hurt really bad. I destroyed my whole entire knee, like broke my femur, tibia, tore everything.
Dude, ouch.
And I came back after that, and I got hurt probably 8 times in a row, like crashes where people would not like ride anymore. And I would just get up and I would go ride the next week with broken ribs and stuff. Like, and then I started training with my trainer, and I started getting like crazy fast, and my shoulder was so like weak, and there was parts of my body that were really weak, so I couldn't go that fast without crashing. Yeah. My mind was going faster than my body's going to allow me to.
Yeah.
So I started going to the gym, and I started training fully. And right when I did, I mean, I in 1 month, I probably dropped 3 seconds off my lap time.
Holy smokes.
One lap. Like, I gained, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was the craziest month of my life. And now, like, getting stronger and all this stuff has completely changed the game for me.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but it sounds like you kind of hit puberty there, and you just excelled like exponentially there. Like,
no, literally. Yeah. I grew some balls. And
I didn't want to say that, but like, I'll let you say it.
Yeah. Well, I was crazy. I would jump anything. Like I just never wanted to work out. I didn't like it, but now I love it.
Yeah, and it adds such an advantage because when you put those two things together, like having the skill on the bike and then backing it up with the confidence that your body's going to be able to keep up with it, I think just propels you so much further.
Exactly. Like, so I had, I guess I had some crazy natural talent, right? I mean, I still do. Like, not to sound cocky. I guess that sounds cocky, but like my dad always told me like that natural talent isn't going to get you anywhere. Like, you're going to have to work. And I was always like, all right, fine, whatever, normal kid to their dad. But looking back on it now, obviously I think I made mistakes. Like, if I trained hard on 85s, I'd probably have a factory ride right now, but I didn't. And I will regret that forever. Should have listened to my dad and mom because they're smarter than me. But yeah, man, it's crazy. If you don't really, really love riding dirt bikes and love the sport, it's not worth trying to go pro. Yeah. Because there's too much sacrifice that you have to make to be able to get there. And your family too. Your family has to be 100% invested as well. Yeah. Yeah. All those late night, early mornings. I mean, you know all this stuff, but like this, dude, what you put in is what you get out. 100%. So,
well, and it's crazy too. Like, I mean, like one of like the main examples of this is like Hayden Deegan gets a lot of hate for like, oh, he was given all of this. Like his dad buys him like the best factory bikes you can. But like, regardless of that, which like also like, I mean, you can't blame him. Like good for him for having the opportunity to do that. The thing
is, people are jealous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, I mean, it's, I'm sure like you get the same thing too. Like you're sitting there with 3 bikes right behind you and people are like, oh, he probably, saying whatever. But like, regardless of your situation, like you gotta like just take advantage of that to the max, And like, 100%. Like Hayden, for example, like he could have been given all of this, but you still have to put in like all that work. And like, there's no questioning that kid's a hard worker and that he saw the opportunity to ride at the top level and just like taking it to full advantage, He
was given the opportunity and he took it. There's a lot of people that don't in this sport. So props to him. And I mean, I think what they're doing for the moto community is insane. They're bringing so many kids into it. Yeah. And like, honestly, I kind of strive to be like him. Like I would love to be where they're at one day. That's my goal. I don't get why people talk shit. The kid works hard and he's ridiculously fast. So I don't get it.
I was gonna say, you don't like you said earlier, you don't get to where you're at just on, or your parents are saying you don't get to where you're at just on talent alone. Like you can only get so far with just talent on a dirt bike. And then it starts becoming where, how much work am I going to put in? How many hours am I going to put in?
Like, I mean, any of those top riders, like you get to hear their stories. Like we listened to, if you haven't heard the Whiskey Throttle episode with the Lawrence brothers, I think both of them are on there, right?
Yeah.
I don't watch anything motocross, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? Well, if you're ever driving and you are and get bored,
you got a 20-hour ride coming up ahead of you, my guy. You could throw it on.
Yeah, I'll be live on TikTok. So
perfect for 20 hours straight.
Live for 20 hours.
I will. I literally will.
But anyway, so like the Lawrence brothers, their story is insane.
Oh my gosh!
About how
they sacrificed everything.
Yeah, literally like everything. Their parents sold their house so that they could move to Europe.
Unbelievable.
And then like Hunter was like riding for this team and they weren't getting paid and they were living like the whole family was like living in the attic of this like bakery. Yeah. And Jet was like sleeping on a pool table and this was going on for like years and they were eating what was it? They had like budgeted out like $2 per person per day for food or something crazy like that.
Yeah, tuna crackers and bread.
And I mean that's just one example. So and then on top of that, like obviously they were like working like crazy to get to the level that they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So like it's and I'm sure like every other rider that's out there on the podium has similar stories of how they.
Yeah, everybody has their story.
Regardless of if you grew up in the richest family on the planet and got the top factory bike since you were on a 50, or if you were like struggling money wise, either way, you still have to put in like a ridiculous amount of work.
100%, dude.
Which like
so true.
You could have the nicest bike in the world, but what is that going to do?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you can only get so far on talent alone.
Literally.
Yep. That's awesome, dude. When did you start picking up the camera and kind of getting into like, oh, dude, I ride dirt bikes. I want other people to see I ride dirt bikes. Or how did you come up with that?
So I've always wanted to start like a YouTube channel and stuff. Cause like I don't know. Like I'd say I'm outgoing, but I'm not. Like I love to talk to people and I love to hear people's stories. Like I'll never ever look down on someone until I know about them. Like that's not how I work, you know? And when I was in 8th grade, me and Dylan Kelly, we would always hang out here and we'd do stuff. Then my best friend, Tyler Matcham, who is like the world to me, like does everything for me and insane. I couldn't ask for anybody better in my life. Me and him like would always mess around riding pit bikes every day and stuff. So I was like, dude, why don't I film some of this and like just throw it on YouTube? So I'd film it on my phone and you could go back on my YouTube and watch the first videos. It's bad.
Yeah. But, we can relate.
So I started like uploading a couple videos and I was like, oh, it's fun, but no one's watching them, you know? So I stopped for a long time and then I started posting on Instagram and then I stopped completely. And I'd say like about whenever I started TikTok, I don't remember when I started TikTok, but I started it and I was like, dude, this is really fun. Like I love doing it. So I did it for probably like 3 months and I uploaded a lot of YouTube videos and stuff. And then I got hurt. So when I got hurt, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't film anything. So I stopped. And then right when you guys saw me, that post you guys saw was my first post, like getting back into it. So like I just started up, like to be honest with you, kind of.
That's awesome.
And then like, I don't know. And I don't know. I feel like really comfortable talking in front of a camera and stuff. So I was like, oh, why not film it? I love it.
Yeah. You definitely have that like lively personality. I like as soon as we just joined the Zoom call, I was like, dude, this kid like really, he has no fear in like speaking or like showing his personality. Like that's so cool.
No, not at all. That's like, I don't know. I will literally treat everybody the same. Like I don't care. And I treat everybody the same. And I talk to everybody the same way. It's just kind of how I am, I guess. I don't know.
Mad respect, man. Mad respect.
I don't know. It's cool though. Everybody thinks like, again, this sounds cocky, but like, cause I'm fast on a bike, you know, or whatever. I have good skills and stuff. People are like, oh, he's probably like a cocky asshole. It's like, no, like I don't, just cause I'm fast on a bike, that doesn't mean anything. Like no one cares. No one cares how fast you are, how much money you have. It's how are you inside? Like what kind of person are you?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I care about.
True.
That's what would get you out of places too, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
yeah, that's like, for instance, Daniel, like I met him a long time ago. Cause one of the guy who sponsors me helps him out as well some. And, like I've been fortunate enough to do good this year to where like, you know, I have 4 bikes right now and I have a lot of stuff and his broke. So I was like honest, I text my sponsor and mom and dad was like, hey, I'm going to let him use like my old race bike so I need to sell it, but I'm going to let him race it because I don't really care. Like I just want to help anybody I can. And he's a great kid. And I don't know, I would love a kid. He's my age. I don't know why I said a kid, but a great guy. So I was like, dude, like I have the gas sitting in the garage. What do you think? He was like, screw it. Yeah, and then me and him we don't have anything ready. He's never even ridden a KTM, so he's got to go ride that. And then I don't even have my race bike back. And we're gonna leave Sunday, so we still got to get the Sprinter ready and we got to load everything up. It's gonna be an adventure, but it should be a lot of fun. I'm very excited.
I was gonna say that's honestly some of the most fun I've ever had with Connor. Not even like riding, like the fun we have just going places and getting there is just a blast. Yeah. Like I don't know what it is, but there's something about hanging out with your buddies and just doing the things that you love.
Like a big trip yet, dude. I really wanted to go. So did you see Jet and Hunter did like a free ride day? I think it's going on right now. It was like 4 to 10 p.m. today. So I guess they're riding right now, but it was in South Florida. I looked it up. It's like 9 hours from us.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, you should have.
I was like, should I call off work and go do this?
Dude, my boss would literally kill me.
But I was like, man, I'm gonna show up with my stock bike with graphics on it.
It doesn't matter.
Around the track.
You got to ride with Jet Lawrence. I wouldn't care what I was on. If I was on a pit bike, I'd be like, dude, I rode with Jet Lawrence. Like, I don't care.
I've ridden with him like 30 times. I've ridden with every single pro. Like, if you come down here, you'll see.
Well, that's what's crazy is like
everybody's at the track every day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can. It's
I'm sure, especially for you, like riding during the weekdays. I'm sure it's like
it's super beneficial too riding with them. But like, it's funny. Like, I'll see kids like go get signatures and stuff, and like I don't even like. I could care less that pros are there. It means nothing. I've seen them my whole life.
Yeah, you grew
up
with
when
them.
I was little. I used to ride with James Stewart when I was on a 65 on the same track. So it's
that's
like
crazy. It's so dope.
Like I went in the semi with him when I was little one time, and same with Marvin Musquin. I went in their trailer and stuff and like hung out with them. It was so funny.
That's cool. Let's take a quick break real quick, and then I've got a couple more questions and we can wrap up.
Yeah, for sure.
Crap. What was I
So
gonna?
got it all.
Oh. So your buddy's riding a gas. Right? He's running this weekend, or not this weekend, but in like a week, right?
Yep.
So everybody's like, oh, the KTM is like the cream of the crop, and then the gas is just all the replacement parts for a KTM. How do a KTM and a gas compare in similarities?
And they're
like
identical bikes, right?
Are they?
You guys would ride them, and you couldn't even tell which one was which.
Okay. See,
yeah,
thank you.
It's same, dude. Same thing. Like
Yeah.
all it has is silver wheels, different bars, different triple clamps, and maybe
Cool.
like a couple others really small parts.
Awesome.
But it's literally the same bike.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a question. I saw you posting about. I think you were posting about it today. Like you're riding like a mod class and like a stock class, right?
Yep.
So when you say a stock class, like
How stock is stock?
How stock is stock?
It's pretty stock. All you could do is
Why is that so funny?
all you're able to do is revalve or get your suspension set up for your weight. You can run foot pegs, bars, like seat cover graphics. You can run rims, but if you have colored hubs, then you get disqualified. Even if they're powder coated stock ones, you can't run them.
Okay, so pegs, bars, and then suspension setup, not internals. Like, can you change the internals of your suspension, or do you have to run the factory internals?
I mean, but everybody cheats. Like at Loretta's this year, I raced it on that bike, and like everybody cheats. Everybody on that line, or most of them, everybody like that's doing good has most likely they have a mod motor.
Really?
But you do get protested. So like a lot of people switch their motors out halfway through the week so they don't get disqualified.
Interesting.
Really?
So
it's great.
From a rider's perspective, what is like considered cheating versus like what the rule book calls cheating? Like there's black and white. To be honest
with you, like it doesn't matter what you have if you win, in my opinion. Like I think you win. Because like, yeah, a motor helps a lot. It really does. But in the mod class, kids are running like dude, Deegan's Star bike makes like 52 horsepower or something. Mine makes probably like 35 or something. Dang. So like not that low. I don't know how much they make, but his is like 51. Mine's probably closer to like 43 or something.
Sure.
When you're talking about that big of a difference, it's insane, but it's just what they have. So you got to deal with it. And like, I don't know, if you're on a mod and someone else on a stock, like you put Deegan on a bone stock Yamaha motor, he's probably still going to do really good.
Sure.
I don't think he'll win. I think the kids with the mods will win because it is that big of a difference. But that's like my biggest disadvantage and why I can't beat him a lot of times is because I'm usually on stock motors and I just can't keep up on it.
So what do you think about like, you see, so like, I don't have a good example of someone, but like a privateer that's doing really good right now versus like a factory rider that isn't necessarily having like his best year. Do you think that like, if you were to like swap those, I wish I had like a good example of this, like, cause I've seen this happen multiple times this year already, but like, I guess the question I'm asking is like, which you kind of already answered this, but like how much of a jump does like a factory bike make versus a privateer bike?
Can I specify real quick, like the difference between a privateer bike and then like a privateer bike with a good example. A fully kitted privateer bike versus a factory ride?
How about let me completely rephrase it. So let's put Eli Tomac on who's like a 450 privateer.
Noreen.
Yeah, let's say like let's say we put Eli Tomac on Freddie Norton's bike and Freddie on Eli Tomac's bike. Who's gonna place ahead of each other?
Like if they were to do it right away.
Yeah. Well, let's give them each like a week to get used to the bike.
Sure.
Tomac will still beat him because
you think so?
He's like one of the best.
And, sick.
But the thing is, if you were to put someone that hasn't had the chance, Freddie has been on like factory teams, I guess, like as a fill-in rider and stuff. But if you were to take someone, and the problem is they give these guys a factory ride, but they only give them a very short amount of time. When all these other guys, such as Tomac, they've had factory rides since they were little. So they know the team, they know how it works, and they're already built from when they're young to be a champion. These other guys, they get on a factory team and like, it's amazing for them. But just because you have a factory bike doesn't mean you could ride a factory pace. Those guys are insane. The difference from 10 in an outdoor national, the difference from top 10 to 20th in back is absolutely insane. Like if you look at the time differences, it's ridiculous. Top 5 is usually just absolutely gone. It don't matter what bike you have. Running that pace is ridiculous. But if you were to put, like, for instance, you could take Ty Masterpool for an example. Last year in outdoors, he's on a privateer bike, but he was running top 5 almost every race. So if you have that much insane talent, then it doesn't matter. But look, when he was on Star, what was he doing? Leading every moto, right? Leading, whole shotting. But when he was on the AEO bike, which was still a great bike, he wasn't getting as great a start, still amazing starts for the bike he was on. And he was running like top 5 just in 1 year with like not getting hurt in between really. I think he like had a broken ankle or something. That's why, or no, Star got rid of him because he wouldn't ride Supercross because his family won't let him.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that's a great example you could look at. He went from winning to being top 5.
Yeah, that's such awesome insight, dude.
I think it'd be interesting if it may not make a difference at all, but if they had like a stock class and they just for like one race, they say, hey, every 450 rider has to ride the stock version of the manufacturer they're on. And just, I mean, it may not make a difference at all. Who knows? But
it would.
Because obviously, like the guys riding those factory bikes are also the fastest riders out there.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, how much of a difference it would make.
I think they would still be winning, but it would be closer. That's the thing. You would have other guys that actually have a chance.
Yeah, you see the gap is huge.
It's not the bike, though. That's the thing. A lot of people have the misperception that it's the bike. It's not. It's the program. The program's everything. What's your confidence showing up in a van with a ripped canopy or in a factory team with a Red Bull helmet? That mentally, that'll do like that does something to someone.
That's cool.
Because when I show up on the line and I see a Red Bull helmet, it was discouraging to me before. Now I don't care. But it was really discouraging to see that. And it kind of like those kids have the confidence because they have that team behind them and they have the resources. So like, for instance, when I go to this race, I'm stressed about money and I don't know if I have enough money to get home on gas. These kids, they don't have to worry about it. Dad flies them out there and their bikes are under a tent or whatever. They're in a semi. That's where that's the difference.
Yeah. Then I guess, I mean, just to play devil's advocate on that, they also have a lot of, not that the other people don't, but they have a lot of pressure to perform at the top level. And like, if they don't finish, like I've heard that especially Star is like, they like, you're getting first or you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Very strict. But
I mean, you've got, if you're showing up to Loretta's and that they've spent, I don't know how much they spend. Let's say they spent $100,000 to get you to line up on this gate. That's a lot of pressure to, get the whole shot, ride well, not go down in a corner.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't really speak for everybody, but like personally, I love that. Like I would want the pressure. Like I want there to be 5 guys watching me every day I go ride. And I want them to expect me to be good every day. I feel like that would make me a 10 times better rider. But some people I feel like would fold under that. It just kind of depends on like how you are, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's pretty easy for teams like that to weed out people that don't handle the pressure well.
100%. That's the problem is like, and especially in amateurs is like when a kid loses a ride, the factory team just picks up the same kid and he bounces between teams. Yeah. So like they never give someone else a shot.
Gotcha.
That's kind of the problem.
So what's your plan for, you're going to be at Loretta's this year, right? I think you said that. So have you qualified yet? Or are you going to a qualifier or?
Only a qualifier. Haven't gone. The regionals aren't going on yet.
Okay.
So I'm qualified for the regionals and then you got to get top 4 there.
Okay, cool. So where's your regional going to be at?
Mine will be at Fox Raceway and Bunker Hill in Utah. Okay. Hopefully I could just get in at Fox so I don't have to drive to Utah. That'd be nice.
Yeah. So Fox is probably pretty close to you, right?
Yeah, it's about an hour.
Dang, that's nice.
It's pretty nice.
I have 7 tracks I can go ride within like an hour.
Dude, that's so nice. We drive an hour to ride like basically in someone's backyard.
No, I'm so spoiled with tracks. I always say that. Anybody that lives in California, like
it's all out
it's
there.
It's insane because I could drive 15 minutes and go to 2 tracks.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. What is it about California that makes it such a great like dirt bike area? Like is that the birth of like motocross, supercross? Like
I mean, like, I guess it's the same reason that a lot of people for any sport train in areas like that is like the weather's always pretty solid.
Okay. Consistency.
Yep.
Okay.
Always rideable, really hot in the summertime for good training and stuff.
That's cool. We live like an hour from Loretta's, but obviously we can't ride the tracks. We did like a woods race there.
Yeah, we raced at Loretta's just
probably
not
like 2
on the
months
track.
ago.
Oh, that's fun.
Dude, we had no idea what we were getting into.
That's the understatement of the year.
I don't know if I think I might have mentioned it to you when me and you went live together for a second, but basically like there were no tracks open that weekend around us. And our buddy was like, hey, there's like this Loretta's trail race if you want to go to. We're like, sure. Hayden had never ridden a trail in his life.
I've never been in the woods. I've only been on tracks.
And I'd really only ridden trails like when I was in middle school and stuff. And so we show up to this event and like everyone's so bad. Everyone's got bark busters on their bike. And skid plates and everything. Or over here, like not at all prepared. And like just like we go up to like the starting line. And we're like, hey, like, what's the deal with like, do we go back and get water or like when do we like refuel and stuff? And they're like, oh, you're supposed to have already put all that stuff over there in the pit area. We're like, no one told us that. And it was too late to go back and get fuel and all that. So we just like took off and it was like a 9-mile loop. It was fun.
Jeez, that's long. That'd be so fun. I want to go do some of those, but it was a
lot. I mean, it was so. And what was weird too was like they just they like release you in certain stages, but everyone's going at once. And the guy that won like the A class, whatever they call it, he had raced in like a lot of GNCCs. It was like some guy from Europe or something. I don't know if he's like a top guy at the GNCCs, but obviously he's riding you know the same trail as us. And so
that's so funny, dude.
We're getting passed by guys on third gear, just hauling
I'm like
through like a space the width of your like the width of your handlebars. There's a guy going third gear tapped. Like that makes no sense to me. Like logically, I don't understand how physics work like that. But my goodness, dude, they haul, and that goes for the same thing like on the track. Like I can picture myself being fast like on my bike and what I think being fast on my bike is, and then getting passed by somebody throwing a scrub.
Oh dude, that's the thing.
I'm over here going as fast as I like can physically go, and I get passed by some guy, you know, just like talking to his buddy on a radio. Like
that's the thing is like, so like we go to these tracks around here and like, so I've only been riding for like, I guess a little bit over a year, but also like we'll ride like 2 weekends a month. So like, if you really think about it, like I lost all the things that I remembered from riding in middle school. Like I obviously knew how to like shift gears and stuff, but as far as like actual skill, like I basically started back at zero a year ago and ride like every other weekend basically. So like obviously we're pretty dang slow, but like
having fun a lot.
That's what it's all about is having fun. But like we'll be at the track and I'll be like, man, I'm feeling like I'm flying, and I'll be like going to the corner and like I'm like in my head I'm like, I don't know how it is physically possible to go any faster than this, and then some guy will just like
and then they'll do it and then you're like
past me. like, what is going on? Like, what just happened?
That's so funny, dude.
Well, that's cool. So we'll be at Loretta's. We'll definitely be there on the Saturday, and we're gonna try and take off. We're gonna definitely try and take off work one of the days. Do you know, like I don't know if you know this or not. If we were to take off like a day of work, like what's the
what would you recommend?
What's like the best day of the week at Loretta's?
The best day probably. I mean, the first day is like always sick because like everyone's going. You see a lot of crashes the first day, I would say. Probably like, dude, any day, honestly, like it's all fun. Probably the last day is probably the most boring, I would say. But it is championship, so kids will go crazy on it. I think every day's sick, honestly. It'd be cool, like go like Fridays. Friday's really good. And honestly, they're all fun, man. The first day is just cool because like it's like the first day of the first day, first race, first gate drop at Loretta's, like pretty cool.
I'd be interested to see
the first
like
race actually.
Really?
We're there.
I'd be interested to see like, I mean, obviously you know this, like how that track like changes over the course of the week. Cause like by the time we got there on Saturday, like there were some pretty deep ruts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, so the ruts are like that the first day, but the problem, they don't groom like half the track throughout the week. They kind of just like water it. Really? I didn't know that until I went out and I was first race and we did a sight lap and I was like, oh wow, they didn't even groom the sand section. Like the holes are still 8 feet deep.
Whoa.
Pretty crazy.
That's cool.
That's pretty gnarly.
So last year on that Saturday, that was like our first ever experiencing anything at all Loretta's related. So I've lived in Nashville for like, I guess like 8 years now. And like, I've always known that it's like an hour from here, but you know, like I didn't ride and like didn't have anyone to go with. And then this past year, me and Hayden were like, yo, let's go check it out. And we knew nothing. Literally, I didn't even know if you had to pay to get in.
Yeah, we had no idea where to park.
I didn't know like where you're supposed to park. I think I commented on like a Racer X post on Instagram and was like, yo, does anyone know where you like buy tickets to go to Loretta's? And some guy was like, it's free, just walk in. And I was like, all right. So we drove like an hour and a half and we just like pull up and there's this like old lady in a bus. Yeah. She's like, hey, y'all going to the race?
We're like, I guess.
Like, yeah. She's like, hop on it. She just drops us off. And also like before this, in my head, I'm like, you know, I wonder like if I try hard, like if I could ever like be in like a 40+ race at Loretta's or something. We walk up.
For sure,
dude.
I mean,
I was pretty confident before we got there. We walk up and I see, so basically we walked in and you know how there was like that big, like it was like a single to like a long jump. And then there's like this like little tiny roller right past it. And then that goes into that big wide sand corner around the pond.
Yeah. Jumping into it.
Yeah. So that's like the first place we walked up to. And then right when we walked up there was when the super mini race started. And we just see Hayden Deegan go like 30 feet over our head and land like in the corner
into the flat.
Three into it. That was gnarly. I didn't even hit that till the second or till the first race, like first lap I followed to get off it. It's pretty big. Dude.
Well, what's crazy too is like that didn't even look like a landing.
No, there didn't really,
like the single was like, it looked like it was like this big that people were landing on.
It's pretty small. It's not the best. Like a kid on an 85 hit it. Small wheel 85. A kid jumped it that week, I guess, which is absolutely insane.
That kid got balls.
We saw a kid get landed on right there too.
Oh, dude, this kid got jumped over.
It's scary.
It was. I think it was one of the super mini races, but it was like obviously like in that super mini race, like the top like 3 or 4 kids were all jumping it. Then there was this one kid that was in like 10th or 12th that he was jumping it every lap, and. There was once or twice where he was like this close.
Yeah,
like
he was
landing
jumping
right
kids
on someone.
doing like the single double, and he would land in front of them. Like the one time that was like, oh my gosh, we're about to see a crash. This kid kind of rolled it, and he jumped it in complete confidence, and he like landed like perfectly right in front of the kid.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
That was freaking sick though.
That's super sick. Loretta's is fun, man. A great experience. I'm excited to go this year for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to be out, dude. I was kicking myself for not bringing my camera last year, so I'm going to bring my camera and I'll be filming some stuff. I'll be sure to get some sick stuff for you. And
yeah, dude, that would be awesome.
We'll have to link up and say what's up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really down. I look forward to meeting you guys. Hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. Sick. Well, we're like right at an hour, so it's probably a good spot to call it unless you had any other like specific questions.
Not really, man. I mean, awesome talking to you. You've been super sweet to talk to. Love all the little details, like learning about A-Kit. I mean, I know a lot of people probably already know that listen to us or know something about it.
We're the D-class riders.
We're the D-class. There are so many people that are going to listen to this and go, "Oh my gosh, A-Kit suspension!" Like, and just be cracked on.
Yeah, I always dreamed of having it when I was little. So it's so cool. This stuff looks awesome too.
Yeah. So real quick before we go, like tell people like where they can follow you on like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all that.
So on TikTok and on Instagram, it's just Dayton Briggs 734. And then on YouTube, it's just Dayton Briggs.
Sweet. So are you trying to get, I saw you created like a second account on TikTok. Are you trying to like get that one or are you going to be able to just get your other one back going?
I'm going to be able to get my other one lives back, hopefully Sunday. If not, then I'm going to push the other account. I haven't yet because I'm hoping I can go live on Sunday. I have a lot of people that want me to go live. So, but when I do, hopefully we can go live and stuff, and then we could dig into some other topics. You could talk for hours about this sport.
Oh yeah, days. I mean, there's podcasts that run 5 hours. Like, was it
the Pulp MX show?
Yeah, Pulp MX show is nuts. But all right, dude, we'll let you go. I know you got a lot of work to do and a lot of prepping to get going.
So apart and stuff. So
yeah, hey, well, good luck next week. We'll be
cheering for you, buddy.
Is that going to be on Racer TV or whatever?
I'm not sure where it's televised. If I do, I'll probably share it on my story if you can watch it somewhere. Yeah. But I hope so.
Well, we'll at least be keeping up with the stats, and hopefully we'll get to watch it too. So
yeah,
for sure. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Good luck.
All right, ride safe out there, and it's been awesome talking to you, dude.
Well, dude, you guys too. We'll have to go live together soon when I get it going again.
For sure. Yeah, we'll be on the lookout for it.
Sweet.
All right, dope, guys. Have a great night.
Dope.
See ya. See ya.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. What a legend. What a legend.
Do you want to like wrap that at all? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we're totally still gonna wrap that. Everett.
We've got like, dude, I think it's 5 a good minutes. Call to just like call it like 20 minutes in.
I think so too.
Instead of we're like, oh shoot, we're at 29 minutes and 50 seconds.
It's like the kid on the podium. Oh, I'd like to thank my mom, my dad.
Yeah, like when we were doing that one where we're doing TikTok lives and stuff, and that kid Tyler was on.
Like, oh, we got 15 seconds.
And he's like, oh yeah, it was like good to me. And I was like, dude, like I want to hear what you have to say, but also like the camera's shutting off.
Yeah.
So we'll just start cutting it off earlier. For those that are listening, that are probably like, what the heck are they talking about? Yeah. The camera cuts off at 30 minutes. Hopefully we're getting a new camera soon. It doesn't have that issue.
I'm all excited.
But anyway, so that was Dayton Briggs.
Awesome kid.
He's like super nice.
Yeah. And what a freaking personality. I mean, I want to see him on a podium just to hear him talk, you know? Like I'm not comparing him to any current rider out there, but I love seeing, you know, people just talk on the podium rather than just read a script. So
that kid, he's got like a lot of mouth on him in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like
100%.
Like people that are like good at talking, like that's like an invaluable skill. But anyway, I don't really want to go too much longer since it's already getting pretty dang late.
Yeah, I gotta use the restroom too. So
but that was Dayton Briggs. Check him out. This should be out before he races.
Definitely should be.
So yeah, check him out.
All right, folks.
Super dope kid. I keep calling him a kid. He's 18 years old.
He's kind of a kid.
Well, I thought that at first that he was like real young, but
I mean, my little brother's 18, so I call him a kid, but he's still my little brother.
I still feel like I'm a kid, and I'm like almost 30.
All right, we're gonna end it there, folks. Take care. This is the D-Class Moto Podcast.
Yep. See y'all next week.
Adios.